Okay, hello friends. Today we are going to see the chapter 8, that is taking app to the market. But first of all, we need to know why we are going to make this our app to take it into your recent market. What is the need? With the number of available apps for download from the world's leading app store, totaling over 4 millions of enterprises know all about your marketing strategy. And only in order to stand out in the today's app market, we need to go for it while focusing on mobile app development. And building an app that functions properly is a central factor for success. If user don't know the product exists, your hard work is worthless. So mobile app marketing covers every user interaction from the moment they first learn about the product to when they become a loyal user. Marketing a mobile app effectively involves a defining target audience, learning how to reach them and how to communicate with them, and analyze their in-app behavior to make continuous improvement as users move through the acquisition funnel. Ultimately, the goal of a mobile app marketing strategy should be to acquire users that will not only drive repeat engagement but will also become loyal advocates for the product. And these are some strategies we are using in order to get our app registered. Also, how the app is going to be dealing with, and what is actual current use for the app. Okay, and these some strategies are made, that is long term strategies, also short term strategy, in order to build the app perfectly for the market. Now in this chapter we are going to see how these apps should be taken to the market, means basic steps, that is how versioning should be done, how signing is going to be done, how I am going to publish my app on a store, and all the further things. Okay, this is only the basic concept what I have just discussed with you. Now next slide will going to show you what is actually the content behind how I am going to create my application in my market. Now this is the versioning. Versioning, as in the PPT itself it is defined, that is it is a critical component which deals with um, of your app upgrades and maintenance strategy. It is also important because user need to have a specific information about the user need to have a specific information about the app version that is installed on their devices and the upgrade version available for installation. And second most important thing is other app, including other apps that you publish as a suite, need to query the system for your app version to determine compatibility and identify dependencies. Next point, that is more important, services, that is through which you can publish your app, may also need to query your app for its version so that they can display the version to the user. A publishing service may also need to check the app version to determine compatibility and establish upgrade or downgrade relationship. Here the Android system uses an app version information to protect against a downgrade. The system does not use app version information to enforce restrictions on upgrade or compatibility of a third party app. Your app must enforce any version restrictions and should tell the user about them. Android Studio also does not enforce system version compatibility as expressed by the SDK version setting in the build files. And this setting allows an app to specify the minimum system API with which it is compatible for more. Okay, now how I am going to specify some applications over my version. It is also specifying some content beyond the versioning part. Here how I am going to set an application version information with my application. And to define the version information for your app, you have to set the values for the version setting in the Gradle file build files, and then these values are then merged into your app manifest file during the process. Then two settings are available and you should always define values for both of them. That is, first one is a version code, a positive integer used as an internal version number, and this number is used only to determine whether one version is more recent than another, with higher numbers indicating more recent version. This is not version number shown to user. That number is set by a version name setting below, and the Android system uses the version code value to put against a downgrade by preventing user from installing an app with a lower version code than the version currently installed on their devices. Okay, and this, and actually the value is a positive integer, so you can so that the other app can programmatically evaluate it. For example, to check an upgrade or downgrade relationship, you can set a value to any positive integer you want, and however you should make sure that each successive release of your app uses a greater value, and you cannot upload an APK to the Play Store with the version code. You have already used this version previous for this version. If some specific situation you might wish to upload a version of your app with a lower version code than the most recent version. For example, if you are publishing multiple APKs, you might have a preset version code range for specific APKs, and that for that purpose you can assign version code values. Okay, then typically you would release the first version of your app with the version code set to 1, then monotonically increases the value with each release regardless of whether the release constitute a major or minor release. This means that the version code values does not necessarily have a strong resemble to the app release, and that version is visible to the user, and app and publishing the service should not display this version value to the user. And the second most important part, that is the version name. It is a string used as a version name shown to the user. This setting can be specified as a raw string or as a reference to a string resource. Okay, and the value is a string so that you can describe the app version as a major, minor, or point in a tag string, or as another type of absolute or relative version identifier. The version name has no purpose other than to be displayed to the user. You can define the default values of these settings by including them in the default config block. Here I have just given one content regarding this default config block nested inside the Android block of your module build.gradle.file. You can then override these default values for different version of your app by defining separate values for the individual build type or product flavors. And the following build.gradle file shows the version code and version name settings in the default config block as well as the product flavor block. Okay, and in the default config block of this example, the version code values indicate that the current APK contains the second release of an app, and the version name string specify that it will appear to the user as a version 1.1, and this build.gradle field also defines two product flavor, demo and full. Since the demo product flavors define version name as 1.1 demo, and the demo build use this version name instead of default value, the full product flavor block does not define version name, so it uses the default value of 1.1. The Android framework provides an API to let you query the system for version information about your app, and to obtain a version information uses the get package info. In bracket you can see that java.lang.string and integer value method for the package manager. Now this was happening how I am going to setting my application over how I am going to set application a version name. Now it's time to take how I am going to specify some levels for this versioning. Then if your app requires a specific minimum version of the Android platform, You can specify that version requirement as API level settings in the app, that is build.gradle file, as previous I will already discussed. During this build process, these settings are merged into an app manifest file. Specifying API level requirement ensures that your app can only be installed on devices that are running a compatible version of the Android platform. If you specify API level requirement directly in your app manifest file, the corresponding setting in the build files will override the setting in the manifest file. And additionally, defining these file settings in the Gradle file allows you to specify different values for different version of your app for greater flexibility and to avoid potential overwriting. When the manifest is merged, you should remove this attribute from the uses SDK elements and define your API level setting in the Gradle build files. There are two API level settings available actually. The first one is mean SDK version, that is the minimum version of the Android platform on which the app will run, specified by the platform's API level identifier. This is just about mean SDK. What is mean SDK? Now the target SDK, what is the specifies the API level on which the app is designed to run. In some cases, this allows the app to use manifest element or behavior defined in the target API level rather than being restricted to using only those defined for minimum API level. And to specify default API level requirement in a build.gradle file, add one or more of the settings above to the default config block nested inside the Android block. You can also override these default values for the different version of your app by adding the settings to the build type or product flavor. And the following build.gradle file specifies default mean SDK version and target SDK version setting in the default config block and override mean SDK version for one product flavor. This is actually what I have just discussed with you. I have just given mean SDK and target SDK version names. Okay, and again just discussed, when preparing to install your app, the system checks the value of these settings and compares them to the system version. If the mean SDK version value is greater than the system version, the system prevents the installation of the app. If you do not specify these settings, the system assumes that your app is compatible with all platform versions. And for more information, you can see that uses SDK manifest element configuration and documentation, and also the API level documents given. Okay, hence just it was regarding how I am going to versioning my applications with content, as well as how I am going to make my version name as well as the version code name specific to my application. And now the second most important part, that is how, now this was the versioning. Now next part is how signing and packaging your mobile application to be done with the help of applications just given with the same version name. How I am going to sign in, just I am going to explain in the next video.